On today's Smart 7, Gaza ceasefire inches closer, Rachel Reeves hits back at critics and much more. It's Wednesday 15th of January, it's Strawberry Ice Cream Day and happy birthday, Claudia Winkleman.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
It appears as though a ceasefire deal in Gaza is inching closer, as all sides agree that it's a matter of hours or days before an agreement might be signed. The proposed deal has been negotiated in Doha, and sources say it is in the final stages. The details of the deal emerged on Tuesday, with 33 Israeli hostages due to be released by Hamas in return for the release of 1,000 Palestinian prisoners in a first phase that would last 16 days. A phased pullback of Israeli troops would follow, along with new security arrangements and the chance for residents to return to their homes, while more aid will flow into the Gaza Strip. Outgoing US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken says that even a ceasefire won't solve the ongoing issues.
We assess that Hamas has recruited almost as many new militants as it has lost. That is a recipe for an enduring insurgency and perpetual war. The longer the war goes on, the worse the humanitarian situation gets in Gaza.
Israeli military spokesman David Mencer was sounding more positive from the Israeli side, saying the ongoing military offensive has left Hamas with no choice.
It's the efforts which Israel has made to push back Hamas and taking out Hamas's leadership. This is what has pushed Hamas to, come to a deal.
Tuesday saw Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov hold his annual press conference in Moscow. He began by praising Donald Trump's recently stated views on the conflict in Ukraine, which saw the incoming US president blame Joe Biden and NATO for provoking Russia. Lavrov also praised comments from Trump's pick for National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, who has already conceded that Ukraine can't expect to drive Russian forces from every inch of Ukrainian soil. The Russians certainly appear open to the idea of engaging in talks with Trump.
When President Trump, when he becomes president and takes office, comes up with his clear position on Ukrainian matters, we definitely will study and entertain that.
The tone and the reaction to Trump from Moscow is not unexpected, but it will cause concern in Ukraine. It's also markedly different from the defiant tone outgoing US President Joe Biden took in his final press conference on foreign policy.
When Putin invaded Ukraine, he thought he'd conquer Kyiv in a matter of days. But the truth is, since that war began, I'm the only one that stood in the center of Kyiv, not him. Putin never had.
The last few days have seen plenty of criticism of Chancellor Rachel Reeves as the bond markets applied pressure to the government after poor growth numbers and a weakened pound pushed up the cost of borrowing. The Chancellor didn't help matters with the timing of a trade mission to China, but she was back in the Commons on Tuesday to defend herself and push back on calls for her resignation. She pointed out that the UK is not alone in experiencing rising borrowing costs as the global economy waits nervously to see what impact a new Donald Trump-run US government will have. Indications that he may not immediately launch into a tariff war seemed to calm markets somewhat on Tuesday. Reeves says that the current conditions only emphasise the need for growth.
The economic headwinds that we face are a reminder that we should, indeed we must, go further and faster in our plan to kickstart economic growth that plunged under the last government. By bringing stability to the public finances after years of instability under the party opposite.
Despite the focus on the budget and the stuttering economy, the new Labour government has been busy working through its to-do list. One of the items on it is the long-awaited Renters Bill, which is back in Parliament this week. As the Housing Secretary, as well as Deputy PM, Angela Rayner has been busy beefing up some of the protections for renters, including limiting how much rent landlords can ask for in advance. The bill also bans so-called no-fault evictions and makes it easier for tenants to request that landlords carry out repairs on the property. Rayner says it's important to provide protection, particularly for low-income families who are struggling to find accommodation.
Make no mistakes, landlords know that these protections are coming down the road. The previous government promised action. They failed to take that action. It's this Labour government that's going to do that this year to ensure that renters have those protections they deserve.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, Forest spring a surprise on Liverpool and there's a double De Niro on the way. Right after this. Welcome back. This week there's a host of domestic football action with the last of the FA Cup third round games and a full Premier League fixture list. Tuesday night saw Wigan, Preston North End and Leyton Orient all go through to the fourth round. In the Premier League, Man City travelled to Brentford and gave away a 2-0 lead in a game that finished as a draw. Chelsea were at home to Bournemouth and also drew 2-0, while West Ham hosted Fulham and won 3-2. There was a table-topping clash between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest, which saw Forest take an early lead, but Liverpool managed to claw one back and the game finished 1-1. Forest manager Nuno Espirito Santo was proud to see his team up to second in the table.
I'm so proud. I cannot repeat myself over and again because this is what I'm feeling. And we keep going. It's about enjoying the moment.
The twisted mind behind Saw and Insidious, Lee Wannell, is back with a new horror thriller called Wolfman. It stars Christopher Abbott and Ozark star Julia Garner as a couple who head to a rural cabin for a bit of marriage repair work when things go badly wrong. Without spoiling things, there's a mystery beast, a nasty bite and a dramatic transformation, and Julia says she was taken by surprise when her co-star emerged from the special effects trailer.
First time he came out of the hair and makeup trailer, and it was crazy. I was shocked. The special effects makeup did such an amazing job, and it was like I could not stop looking at him. And the combination of the makeup and then Chris's acting in this, it was really wonderful to watch.
They say you can never have too much of a good thing, although science and dietitians probably disagree. Now you can test the theory yourself in new movie The Alto Nights. It's from legendary director Barry Levinson, who brought us Rain Man and Good Morning Vietnam, and it stars Robert De Niro and, well, Robert De Niro. Yep, Bobby D plays two characters in this gangster story as competing mafia bosses who go to war. It hits cinemas in March.
The man took a shot at his own boss.
We just grew up together.
Frank sometimes forgets where he comes from.
You're more fly off the handle.
You make sure he's dead. Bang, 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 bang.
I don't want to make a lot of noise.
Noise? It's a f***ing gun.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day.